friends, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a big curriculum review of everything that we have used in our homeschool this year. This is one of my favorite kinds of videos to make because I get to look back, see what worked, what didn't, and really just share all of that with you. Hopefully this video helps you if you are looking at any of these resources for your own homeschool. We're gonna walk through everything, so maybe grab some coffee, some tea, possibly a notebook and pen if you think you need to take some notes, and let's dive in. First up, we're gonna talk about history. So this year we used Our Great Big World from Notgrass History, and overall, we really liked it. It's funny because when you first flip through it, it really actually feels more like a textbook, but once you start reading it, it doesn't feel that way at all. The writing is engaging and the lessons don't drag on, and also what I really appreciated is that the writing style kind of changes a little bit to each lesson, so it doesn't get stale, just kind of switches it up a little bit. And the photographs in the book were one of our favorite parts too. It really kind of brought things to life in a way that illustrations sometimes just don't. Then there's the folk songs and tales book that comes with it, and oh my goodness, this was such a gem. Having those songs and stories really woven into the lessons just made it so much more rich and fun. But confession time, my daughter wanted more activities, but that was really more on me than the curriculum. So there were like hands-on activities in the book, but they weren't always like things that you could just do on the spot, right? They needed like some planning, and since I really hadn't worked them into our rhythm, we ended up skipping most of them. I was also being mindful at the beginning of the year not to really make things too much because we had like that activity book and things, and then we ended up not doing them. So my honest take is Notgrass did its part, right? And if I had planned better, we probably could have done more of those hands-on activities in the textbook. But even without them, we still loved the core of the program. I would definitely recommend Notgrass History, especially if you want something that is solid but approachable. Next time around, I'll just need to do a better job at prepping for the extra activities. So, okay, now let's talk grammar. We used Easy Grammar Level 3, and if you've been around here, you know that a couple of weeks ago, I actually did a full review on this already, so I won't go too deep into it here, but I will say we really loved it. It is short, simple, and to the point. It does not have any fanciness to it at all, but we never dreaded doing it, and it was a big win in my book. We'll definitely keep going with Easy Grammar because it really worked for us. It builds skill without being overwhelming, and that is exactly what I want for this stage. Now, moving on to Gather Round, it's a longtime favorite in our homeschool. We have used them pretty much since we started homeschooling, and this year their units served kind of more as our science spine. We did the Pets unit, North American Forest Animals, and Careers and Trades. This was such a fun year for science because of that. The Pets unit was definitely my daughter's favorite. No surprise there. But of course, the forest animals came in a very close second. And that's what I loved about how these units kind of gave us variety, but still that consistent gather round feel that we are used to. Honestly, it just felt really good to have gather round back in our regular rotation this year because we didn't really use them as much last year. Kind of reminded me of why I love them. They keep the learning fresh, it's flexible, and it's connected across a variety of subjects. And spoiler alert, we've already picked our units out for next year, so clearly we're sticking with Gather Round. Next up is all about spelling. Now, this year, we actually worked through levels 2 and 3, and I do have dedicated videos on that already on my channel if you guys want details. The short version, it's a great curriculum. It's thorough, it's effective, and you can absolutely see progress. But I not sure it's the best fit for us long term. There are a lot of parts and a lot of pieces, and we just didn't use them. It doesn't make it bad. It just means that it really may not match our style as closely as it does for some other families. So while I'm glad we've used it and we moved through it so quickly, I'm also keeping my options open for next year when it comes to spelling. Now let's talk the Faithopedia from Not Consumed. To be honest, this one kind of dropped off for us. Not because it wasn't good, it just was kind of easy to skip over it. And then once we had skipped it a few times in a row, we just kind of never really went back to it. So that said, I'm not ready to call it quits yet. I am going to put it back in our basket for next year, and I am going to be more intentional about finishing it. I think it still has a lot of value. It just needs a little more consistency from us. Now, my daughter did Math 4 from The Good and the Beautiful, and this was a great fit. She loved having the video lessons and doing her math more independently. Once we figured out that math needed to come like first thing in the morning for her, she really took ownership over it, and she did fantastic. She is already set to do Math 5 for next year. Now, her one big piece of advice, straight from her to you, is always have a piece of scratch paper nearby because you will need it. And I just thought that was a little bit of a funny to share with you guys. But next is handwriting, which is also from The Good and the Beautiful. She did level 3, which was her absolute favorite because she got to learn cursive. She has had so much fun with it, and she is really looking forward to improving next year. We also continued with the Not Consumed Bible studies. We have always loved these. The stickers and pins make them extra fun, and they're really just a sweet way to keep her engaged in the Word, and she can do these on her own. And then finally, the Not Consumed Reading Journal. This is a little less curriculum, but I wanted to include it. I actually bought it last year, and we're still working through it. There is tons of room for a lot of books, and even though she read a lot this year, we actually still have plenty of space to keep going into next year. And I really like that it is flexible like that. It doesn't feel like there's a lot of pressure or an end to it. She just gets to keep a nice record. So that is our curriculum for the year. Most of what we used this year will be sticking around for next year because it worked really well. But there are a few things that I'll kind of tweak or replace because that's the beauty of homeschooling. You don't have to get it perfect. You just have to make the best choice for the season that you're in and then adjust as you go. I would love to know how your year is going. What's staying, what's going, maybe what are some new things that you're excited to try this year. Of course, let me know down in the comments. But that is it for today's video. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you soon.